The warning against internal crisis given to members of the All Progressives Congress (APC) by President Muhammadu Buhari appears to have fallen on deaf ears. Clearview TV is of this opinion, going by the series of what the president once referred to as name-calling and backstabbing. Then he had warned that competing egos of party members can land them in the worst possible fate. But a member of the Convention Planning Committee, Professor Yahaya Kuta, in an interview, said there is no cause for alarm. He is of the view that all dissenting voices will still come together in good time through effective internal conflict regulation mechanism.
The road to 2023 has begun in earnest, and with this convention, the All Progressive Congress will do everything humanly possible to make sure that all the differences are sorted out in good time. And as you can witness, a lot of things are happening, and fast too. And I'm very confident at the end of the day, the best will emerge. We have all kinds of interests left, right, and center, but eventually the right thing will be done.
Even when candidates eventually emerges like he mentioned, does he think the APC will still come out of this united?
The build-up to this effort, we have a very fantastic leader for the party. President Muhammadu Buhari is unarguably a man to believe and to trust. And with the party chairman, Abla Adamu, you can be very sure that he's a man of character, a man of impeccable experience that you cannot doubt. And at the end of the day, with the consensus building that is in the atmosphere, you know that many people are also concerned. In fact, you can see that many people are not even talking about Ahmed Lawal, who is unarguably the Senate President with impeccable background, having been the chairman of House Committee on Education and Agriculture, and eventually he was the Public Account Committee chairman. After taking briefings from security agencies, from different sectors or actors in the economy, he is well prepared to take the leadership of this country, and I'm sure the consensus building around him is going to suffice, and will be the game changer in the final analysis, because when you see the numbers are coming from, you see the number of people, delegates coming from the north and the eventual voters, you can see that Ahmed Lawal will be the joker that will, take the party to the next level. And I'm very confident all will rally around him and make a difference, because the interests of other people will not will be taken care of, and they will come out united at the end of the day.
Whichever way the pendulum swings, President Buhari has said that the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) is set for its third victory since 2015. As at the time of this report, delegates and aspirants were still in last-minute alignment and realignment. The atmosphere at the Eagle Square in Abuja Tuesday is very much unlike any other day. There is a fever in the air, and the presence here portends that a political drama will play out at this arena. After a long wait and several postponements, the special convention of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Primaries 2022 is finally here, and the nation anxiously waits to see who the ruling party will select as its flag bearer for the forthcoming election. As momentum gradually builds up, one cannot fail but notice the intense military presence as various security personnel prowl the four corners of the ground, some on foot, others on horses and vehicles. From the police to the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and down to the counter-terrorist unit, the Eagle Square is brimming with military occupancies, like a fortress. The reason for this is not far-fetched. 22 governors under the aegis of the APC stormed this ground with their entourages, party stalwarts, ministers, and other members of the present cabinet will also be on ground. And of course, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari, graced the occasion. 15 political parties are set to participate in the July 16 Osun State Governorship Election. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says bimodal voter authentication system have also been deployed for the exercise. The state's resident electoral commissioner, Professor Abdul Ganiyu Raji, stated this at a sensitization workshop for community leaders in the state ahead of the July 16, 2022 governorship election.
Barely 6 weeks to the governorship poll in Osun State. The Independent National Electoral Commission is, however, leaving no stone unturned to achieve a successful election. Gathered are religious and community leaders and also representatives of different groups being sensitized on their responsibility ahead of the election. The state resident electoral commissioner and other participants speaks on the challenges being faced by the commission and, however, solicits for support of the people.
We are on the 12th process, which is the training of ad hoc staff. We have gone through the continuous voter registration. We have done the primaries. We have been doing sensitization. Now we want a situation where the public will also be aware of all our steps, and that's what we have passed across to the community leaders. We want them to also sensitize the people to eschew violence. We don't want violence. It would lead to inconclusiveness in election, even though there are some other factors too.
People need to be enlightened, particularly about the coming election in Osun State. Everywhere is heated up. People are getting prepared to choose the next leader, the executive governor of this state.
It's very, very fine. Then I will encourage all the Muslim leaders present here to disseminate the message they add here to the community.
Participants are expected to stand as ambassadors of INEC through dissemination of voter education information.
Two non-governmental organizations, Connected Development Code and Boys Quarter Africa, are stepping up efforts aimed at ending all forms of violence against women and girls in Nigeria. They have held a one-day sensitization campaign for commercial transport workers to impress it on them to support the realization of an initiative tagged Project Sabi, through which sexual violence against the female gender can be effectively tackled. Clearview TV's Messi Eke was at the event, which took place on Monday in Abuja, and filed this report.
According to reports, Nigerian women and girls not only suffer physical, psychological and sexual violence from men at home, but also in most public places, particularly motor parks. Among them are commuters, hawkers and even passers-by. Unfortunately, many of such sexual abuses are not reported due to a number of factors. Concerned about the development, Connected Development Code and Boys Quarter Africa (BQA) are collaborating through Project Sabi initiative to help put an end to the ugly trend. This time around, the two non-governmental organizations are meeting with road transport workers to seek their collective effort in the task of ridding the society of sexual violence against women and the girl child. Hedlazira Shalia is a co-convener of Project Sabi and sheds more light on the initiative.
So what is the goal of this project? This project just aims to mobilize and engage 1,000 men and 1,000 boys as allies of ending gender-based violence. That is just what we're trying to achieve with this project.
Shalia further noted that although sexual and gender-based violence are suffered more by women and girls, men and boys too often experience SGBV. But in rare cases, she therefore charged commercial workers too, as key agents of change in the society, stand up for the integrity of women no matter the circumstances.
Women are trying to board vehicles and they're being touched inappropriately and all sorts of toxic masculinity. So we're trying to let the men know that as a man you have authority, you have power, but you should use it to protect our women and our girls. We're not saying that men are not sexually abused or men are not, victims of gender-based violence.
Representatives of the National Union of Transport Workers, NURTW, expressed gratitude for the sensitization and pledged to rally their members to embrace the fight against sexual violence in the society.
This has given us another opportunity that we should be able, we are going to at least bring ourselves together with the traders, some shop owners, hawkers and other commuters who are coming we'll be able to organize ourselves, and we'll be able to form like a committee or task force that will be looking at what is happening.
We believe that this will further broaden the knowledge of our members, because every month we hold our monthly meeting every ending of the month, and we do bring in experts to come and speak to our members. But we believe this, with their officers here now, hearing from the project organizers themselves, they will be able to pass the information, and we will support the branches to disseminate this information, because it's part of the reform we are doing in the motor park.
Also at the awareness campaign were representatives of the National Orientation Agency, NOA, Ministry of Women Affairs, amongst others. Mercy Eke, Clearview Television.
Nigerians have again been cautioned not to stay off guard, as no vaccine to the COVID-19 pandemic has been found yet. And this is the candid advice of a team of medical experts following another round of survey carried out across different parts of the country on the pandemic. Clearview TV's Imefonokon now tells us more.
Candid advice is for all Nigerians to ensure full compliance with all COVID-19 protocols aimed at checking for the spread of the pandemic came during the presentation of the report of the findings of the Afrobarometer Round 9 survey in Nigeria on COVID-19. The advice has become imperative, as some Nigerians still think there is no need for them to be vaccinated against the killer disease. The Chief Executive Officer of NOPOLS, Chike Nwoku, while presenting the Afrobarometer Round 9 findings on COVID-19, stressed the need for Nigerians to continue to comply with all COVID-19 protocols to avoid the spread of the pandemic.
In the numbers, but the point for us to take away from that is people's attitude towards vaccine hesitancy. Government's response to COVID-19. 54% of the people that we spoke to believe that a lot of the resources intended for the COVID-19 response were lost to corruption. 7 in 10, 71% of people that we spoke to are dissatisfied with the government's provision of assistance to vulnerable households.
The Assistant Survey Manager in charge of North and West Africa, Lionel Esima, sheds light on the methodology used in arriving at the findings of the survey.
The goal of Afrobarometer is to give voice to ordinary citizens in policy making by providing high quality data to policy makers, policy advocates, academics, civil society organizations, and ordinary citizens. What we do.
During the panel discussion on the survey findings, medical experts and COVID-19 analysts stressed the need for continued preventive measures, especially the need for Nigerians to be vaccinated to reduce the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. They say it is wrong for people to begin to assume that the pandemic is over.
But I tell you, COVID was not a fluke. COVID is still real as real can be. It is still with us. It is everywhere. Except,
so I urge each and every one of us, the social media and everybody, we're all advocates. We can all talk to people. We can all mobilize people. We have different groups. We have churches. We have mosques. We have business partners. Our traditional rulers are all advocates, so that we can be able to vaccinate our people.
Some of the elderly people we lost in the last couple of years died from COVID, but unfortunately we had an apathy to testing, and we didn't interrogate well what was killing and how COVID was contributing to deaths.
NOPOLS is a public opinion and research organization based in Nigeria. It is committed to delivering forward-thinking research and relevant data to enhance the activities of decision makers across all sectors of Nigeria and beyond. Imefonokon, reporting for Clearview Television.
The need for regular screening for prostate cancer has again been canvassed. Critical stakeholders in the Nigerian health sector say regular screening for all men who have attained the age of 40 years and above has become imperative to reduce the risk of contracting the disease. They expressed worry that despite the advancement in the prevention and management of prostate cancer, a good number of men continue to succumb to the cold hands of death annually due to prostate cancer. As our correspondent now reports, the stakeholders spoke during an interaction with newsmen in Lagos.
The average cost of treating cancer for an individual in Nigeria runs into millions of naira. The cost of treating cancer remains a big challenge and far beyond what many can handle in a country where the payment of 30,000 naira minimum wage remains problematic. This has led many, including medical experts, to call for the inclusion of cancer treatment in the National Health Insurance Scheme as the way forward. They also recommended increased awareness campaign and screening to check cases of prostate cancer in Nigeria.
Preventing and also making these things, easier for the healthcare force in general. So I want to still say it's commendable.
Check yourself out to be sure that you don't have it. And once you see the early signs, you start get the necessary medication for it.
Prostate cancer is marked by an uncontrolled malignant growth of cells in the prostate gland located between the bladder and in front of the rectum. Though prostate cancer shows no symptoms, it is present in the blood in the urine, often making it difficult to excrete urine by affected victims.
This cancer gives you like 6 years laxity, before it becomes very aggressive. So it's within that period for people that are above 45 years that we want to capture this at the budding stage, at the early stage before it becomes very, very aggressive. Emphasis has been on female cancers, cervical cancer, cancer of the uterus and all that.
High fat diet and obesity are among the known causes of prostate cancer.